Hello students, welcome back to computer science class. We have completed the chapter string manipulation. I'm going to show you a couple of examples today. They are all from your textbooks. So please make sure that you are keeping the textbook open so that you can jot down any notes that you all need for understanding purposes. We did two examples last class. We had finished example number 10.1, that is on page 336, and example number 10.2. Both these programs were displaying each and every character of the string. We learned traversing through every character of the string, while the first program showed us how to type every character on a different line in the reverse order. The second example was displaying every character in the correct order and reverse order in the same line. Uh, that is basically vertically, uh, front and reverse both. And we did this also. So basically now we all know how to display all characters of a string in a particular given format. Now we are going to example number 10.3, okay, which is on page number 340 of my textbook. It is just before the comparison operators. In this, we have to write a program that will take an integer. It will take an integer from the user, and then it is going to check if it contains the digit 0 in it or not. Now, if we were supposed to do it in an integer form, then you would have to perform calculations, because in an integer number, you cannot traverse through every digit like you can traverse through every character in a string. If I have a string number 1, 2, 3, I can visit each and every number 1, 2, and 3 individually. But if I have 1, 2, 3 as an integer, I will have to do the place value system and divide the number by the number 10 to get each and every number individually. Okay. So first, for this program, we will convert the integer number from the user into string data type. Okay. Let's see how this program runs. Okay. This is the one we did yesterday. Okay, this is the one. So write a Python program. WAPP is write a Python program to input an integer and check if it contains any 0 in it. So whenever you get a question, whenever we get a question in an examination, you must understand what is expected out of you, because most of the time we just look at what we need to do and do it, but we must understand what is expected out, which I found most of you all had problems in during the last examination. Now look at this question. It says to input an integer. So it's very important that when I take the input from the user, I take it in the integer format. I cannot directly take it in the string format. And then check if it contains any 0 in it. So what did I do is, after I took it in the integer format, I have converted it into a string. How do you convert it into a string? We use the inbuilt function string. So I wrote str, which is my inbuilt function, which takes the parameter of the variable that we want to convert it. So I put n over here, and then I have written if 0, remember this is a character, I'm using a string, I cannot use 0 without quotation marks, it will give me an error. If 0 in s, because now s is the converted string for me, then I'm going to print there is 0 in the number, else there is no 0 in the number. Now let's run this. Because I have multiple windows open, I'm going to right click over here and run it. There is no 0 in 4, 5, 6, 7. We can run it again and check. There is a 0 in 420. Okay, so this is how this program works. Very simple program. But the most important thing in this program is taking an integer and converting it into string. I repeat, take an integer and convert it into string. You can do vice versa. You can take a string and convert it into an integer also. But remember, string is alphanumeric. So I can put something like computer science 123 in a string, but I cannot convert computer science 123 into an integer. It will give me an error. But I can take 123 as a string input and convert it into integer. It will work. Okay. So although we have these inbuilt functions, we need to understand the application of it. You cannot apply it in any form. Alphanumeric values cannot be converted into integer values. All right. So over here we learned two things. One was type conversion, that is how do you change the data type, and number two is the membership operator. Remember the membership operator in and not in, and how do you use it. Whenever you want to use in or not in, whatever you are finding for has to be in the quotes, or it has to be a string type variable ready. So I can change this like this also. I can say find or f equals to 0, and then I can search over here if f in s. This will also work, but whatever we put over here has to be of string data type. Okay, clear? Is this understood? Okay, we move further. Now the next one is a trick question, which is on page number 341 of my textbook. If you're using another textbook, it is basically program number 10.4. Now, over here, what are they telling us is they want us to print a line, which that means they want us to print 30 lines with is equal to written on it. Then they want us to print 10 blank lines, and then again 30 lines, then another line with they want us to print one line with 30 is equal to signs. Then they want us to print 10 blank lines, and then they want us to print another line with 30 is equal to in it. Okay, so instead of repeating, see this, instead of repeating is equal to 30 times, I can use the replication operator to repeat it in the same line. So I have these are 30 is equal to sign. Then I have 9 blank lines over here. Sorry, 10 blank lines over here. When I say this into 9, so it will print 1 and then 9 times. Okay. Sorry, it will print 9 times. So we need to make this 10 if we want 10 blank lines. Okay. And then the next, again, we wanted 30 is equal to on the same line. Okay. Now, if you want only one blank line, suppose you want only one blank line, then you can put an empty print sign. Okay, if you do something like this, you will get one blank line. But if you want 10 blank lines, then we can use the option that I had used, that was new line multiplied by 9. Okay, so you can get these kind of trick questions where they say print a line with 30 is equal to characters followed by 10 blank lines with 30 and another line with 30 is equal to characters. It sounds complex, it seems difficult because there is lots of repetition. But if you look at the pattern, 30 is equal to sign, that means I can say 1 is equal to multiplied by 30. 10 blank lines. I could have even put a for loop over here. In case I did not want to go for this statement, I could have put another for loop over here. I could have said for I in range 10. I could have said for I in range 10 and then go on for a blank line. So if I do this again, I get the same output, 10 blank lines. Yes? But the easier way would be, the smarter way, not the easier way. The smarter way would be to use the print statement, use my /n, and then multiply it by 9 or multiply it by 10, whatever is asked. Clear? So you have to bring the smartness in your codes now. And remember, in coding, there is no one way or one size suits all kind of a solution. When a question is thrown to you, you can use your creativity, your thinking, your solutions can be different than mine till the output is the same. So if you feel comfortable, you all can do for I in range 30, print is equal to comma, end equals to blank. So it's printed in one line. That is also correct. But this is the smart method to do it. So, and it's very easy to learn. This only improves your thinking. So you all may have thought of another way, but there is no harm in knowing another way of doing it. Okay? Of course, at the end of the day, you must do what you feel comfortable in. Okay? Next one. I think they are missing. I had done 10.5. Okay. The next one is write a program that asks for a username and a code name. And then it ensures that the user doesn't use their username as a part of their code name. Now, if you remember, a similar application happens in some of the websites where they ask us to make a username and a password. And then they tell us that you cannot use your username in the password. So similar code runs in the background over there. How does it run? We first take one variable where we store the username. We take another variable where we store the code name. And then you have to search. You cannot search for equality. You cannot search that if username equals to code name, because there is a chance that the username may be computer. Okay. And the password may be computer science. So now what happens is username is computer, password is computer science. Obviously, they two are different. If I use my comparison operator, that is if username equals to code name, it is going to fail even when my user is using the username as a part of a code name. So over here, we are going to use, remember again, you must understand the question carefully. So the application has to ensure that the user cannot use the username as a part of the code name. So as a part, that means it cannot be a part of the code name at all. So we will use the membership operator. We will say if username in code name, then you must print that your code should not contain your username. Otherwise, you can just accept it and say thank you. Okay, have you understood this question and the solution? Let's run it. My username is computer. My password is computer science. Your code should not contain your username. Now, same. And my path. Sorry, this should be code name. So this is computer. This yes, it will say thank you. So now, my challenge to you over here is that you twist this code in such a way that when you take the username, not a single alphabet from the username should be used in the code name. How will you do that? You have to think. You will have to traverse and do it. Okay. You will have to use the break statement also. Why don't we do one thing? I'll give you all, I want you all to take a pause over here. Okay. Solve it in your notebooks or on your computers and come back. I'm doing the solution right now for you, where we'll take the username and not a single character that is used in the username should be used in the code name. So computer and CS should give you an error. Okay, let's do that. Take a pause, go, come back, and then we'll solve it. And this is the last part for today. Okay, so take this challenge, solve it, come back and see the solution. I trust you all that you all will pause. Okay, number one, for this we will have to traverse the string. And number two is we are going to check if every character is there or not there. So what I'm going to do is my first two remain the same. Okay, and then I'm going to put a for loop over here. So I say for I in UN. So my I is going to become my loop control variable. Okay, then I'm saying if I in CN, then we will say your code should not contain any character used in the username. And then I'm going to break it. So I want them to come out of the loop completely. Else we will print thank you. Okay. So this was the only change we had to do, because when I say for I in username, that means everything will become I, one character. Then every character I'm going to check. On any match, I repeat, on any match, it will say that it cannot contain a character used in the username and it will break. So it will come out of the loop. All right, let's run it and check. Computer. First, I'm going to play correctly. So I'm going to write banana. And okay, so now what happens is thank you is coming multiple times. So over here also we need to write a break. So if it goes in if or else, it must break. Let's run it. Computer. And if I put my password as science, it should give me an error at C. Your code cannot contain any character used in the username. Okay. Now, one more challenge. I want you to show the user which character he is using that is creating the error. So what we need to do is just we need to write over here. You have used the character, comma, I, comma, in your username. You can't use it in your code name. Okay. Remember, I didn't have to change anything else. I just had to change the output statement that I'm showing to the user, because I am anyways saving or stopping wherever the characters match. Let's try this and run. Okay, forgot to put a comma over. You have used the character C in your username. You can't use it in your code name. So now my user will understand the error correctly. So we must work on this part of thinking also, that when we are showing errors to the user, is the user able to understand and comprehend the error? Okay, let's run it again, this time without any errors. Thank you. I got it only one time, and compared to last time when I was getting it so many times, because this is how you use the break and continue statement. Okay. Now, your challenge for today as homework is to take the username and code name, and then over here we are printing only one character. I want you to print, you have used the characters and all the characters that the user has used repeated in your code name. Please make a code name without these. You get it? Over here we are only showing S or C. Any that is matching, I want you to show the entire list. There's so many characters you have used. You don't have to. Okay. I'm not going to tell you the solution to this at all. This is going to be your own challenge. Whether it takes you a week or 10 days, you're going to solve it on your own. And you're going to send me the code. Okay. With this, children, I end today's class. Next class, we start with program number 10.6. Till then, children, stay home, stay safe, take care, keep learning. Thank you.